Hello everyone, my name is Tribal Instincts, and today we are checking out ArrowBorn. For those of you that don't want to stick around for the whole video, the TLDR is, this is a bow and arrow shooter. It's got a good kind of like old school Quake feel to it. It needs some polish, it needs some balancing, but for an early access title going into it, if you are a fan of the bow and arrow shooters, this is a solid recommend. If you're not, well, then this, like, if you don't care about bow and arrow shooters, then just go away. Like, this is not for you. There's not a whole lot new in this that's gonna captivate you, right? So let's start with the pros first. Number one, it is a, like I said, fast-paced, frantic PvP game that does a good job of capturing the old Quake feel. In addition to just sort of like the where all the enemies are just moving around you, there's also like the power-ups that old school Quake did. You got like your God mode, your increased damage, your like all those things. Like they did a good job of making it feel good for us old people that, you know, played Quake a lot, like a lot as a kid. So number two, the crazy movement system doesn't wreck my stomach. Which, I don't, it kind of blows my mind, but it doesn't. Like, I've been playing this for a few hours over the past few months, and no nausea at all. So that is kind of important because the movement is, well, it's kind of nuts. You're just jumping from rooftop to floor to above it, like you're just going everywhere in this game. And the jumping is not just for movement. It also leads to number three, which is the style points. This game, like most bow and arrow games, you're just shooting and it's at the end of it who got the most kills. But in this one, it's more about the points. So, for example, you can have a long range, mid-air headshot kill. All right, all those things add some good challenge and some extra just oomph to the game that makes it a whole lot more fun to play it as you're going through it. And it's not just about the kill to death ratio, which they have plenty of stats. Okay, they have stats on everything. Your hit percentage, like your headshot, like all the stats that you would want, it's on there. So go for those style shots, right? Go for being more of an awesome Legolas versus, you know, just somebody that's just boop, 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 over and over and over and over and over again. So number four, map diversity. While there are only a few maps right now, the maps that they have feel very, very good. They all feel different, right? There's good differences between them in how you play them. Some of them you're going more through some corridors. Other ones it's all just very wide and open, or there's a lot of like, there's actually even a town where you're even going through the streets, getting on top of the buildings, going onto the castle front. Like all these things really play into a very fun and different gameplay depending on which map you're at. On all of them, they do a great job with playing with height. So you're not just looking for players out, you know, in front of you horizontally. You gotta look up, you gotta look down, like it is all around you. So it really makes the game fun, especially whenever you have like just people jumping over you, jumping under you. Like it's fun, all right? So I like how they've done the maps. Number five, the way that they've done the kits allows for you to just have like different styles as you're going through the same game. There's different mana options and different health like balancing, so you can have more mana or more health. Those mana allow you to have more arrow types. You can have shields, you can have vampires, so you're stealing health away from the opponents. You can heal yourself, you can entangle people, so like keep them still. There's a lot of different arrows that you can use in this, and all of them, you just pick them up out of your quill, shoot them, and that's it. So fun ways of diversifying your gameplay as you're going through it. And it's really important because some of the kits are stupidly overpowered, which I'll get to as kind of a negative, talking to you, Dog Tato. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So some of them, they need some balancing, but still, I like the ability to change my tactic as I'm going through the game. All right, and number, six, we're number 6 now. The game modes allow up to 5v5 PvP or 10-player free-for-all, which is awesome. Now, you're skeptical at this point, and rightly so, right? Because VR games, PvP, a little bit dicey, right? Because they're gonna be empty. Not in this case. So I am so incredibly just in awe of the developers for this. I played a very, well, an earlier demo of it a couple months ago, and like I was like, this is fun, guys, but I'm really, really scared for your game because, you know, the fun bits, the multiplayer, it's multiplayer. It's gonna die. There's not gonna be enough players, so it made me really, really nervous, but they added bots, and they added bots in the right way. It is drop in, drop out, so you can just go in there, nobody's online, you get into a game of 5v5 with bots on both sides, you can have fun with that, and then players can drop in, and then things can keep going. So that is really kind of a required thing for multiplayer games, in my opinion, in VR right now. All right, so those are some pretty good points, all right? It is still, it's not perfect, all right? So now we're gonna get into the cons. Like I said at the beginning, it is rough around the edges, right? The audio can get a little bit annoying. You hear you like ding, 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 ding constantly from the arrows bouncing around. So it can use some work on the audio end. Textures are not super high quality, right? It's a little bit gritty in some areas. Not bad, but just not, it just didn't have a really high polished feel. In addition, there's plenty of little bugs, like you can jump into walls. There are balance issues, like I said, like Vampire, again, Dogtato, like, dude, bruh, like just easy with that Vampire arrow. So yeah, he was able to basically just stand still and just shoot Vampire arrow over and over and over again, and that just kept on regenerating his health, all right? So there's balance issues like that. Easy things for them to work on as early access, continues. So not too worried about it, but guys, don't abuse the Vampire arrow until they fix it. All right, and then also lastly for the cons, there were a few networking blips that we saw while we were playing it. I wasn't able to connect to a player. They weren't able to connect to me. It does seem like it's somewhat transient, meaning like I was able to like try again and eventually I got in. So not perfect, but not breaking at the same time. It depends on if it gets worse or if it's like, I don't know. I only had minimal issues. I can imagine some other people might have worse, so something to watch. And it's definitely probably the most concerning point I have on the con list. But overall, guys, for $14.99, I recommend this, right? It's a fun. It's just a fun shooter. I want to go play it some more. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted by this thing. This was supposed to be live, but it's like stupid late, and I couldn't. So there's no questions. Y'all can just ignore this. But you guys gotta forgive me. It's been a long week. All right, I've been dealing with non-stop Windows drivers issues. If you work on the audio stack for Windows, feel bad. Okay, you've done a bad job. Feel bad. So many issues. Anyway, sorry, not to derail this. Like I said, for $14.99 at launch, I recommend this, okay? Again, only if you like bow and arrow games. It's a solid entry into the genre, and it's got more features on the early access roadmap that could even make it even better. Some more single player or more PvE style focused gameplay, as well as, they just seem like pretty cool dudes, all right? So I've been chatting with them on Discord for a while. They seem on top of it. I'm pretty happy with what I've seen from them in terms of the development so far and what I expect for them to do going forward. So I like it. And that's pretty much it. Those are my thoughts. Not perfect, but I like it. All right, guys. Sorry for the craziness. It's just been a long week. What can I say? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. If you didn't, hit the downvote button and tell me what I can do to make these videos better. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.